Harris. Congressman, thank you for joining the Pulse this evening. You know, Oscar Gerardo Salaranzo Garcia, he was in our country illegally. I shouldn't even have to pronounce his name. He shouldn't even be here. And yet he's been deported twice already. Is this the clearest proof yet that the Operation Charlotte's Web is absolutely what's needed in Charlotte?
David, listen, thank you so much for having me tonight, and thank you for covering this story, because you're exactly right. What we witnessed here Friday evening, just before 5 o'clock, I mean, as folks were making their way home from work, was yet another tragedy in the life of Charlotte. And the spotlight is once again on our city. Spotlight is once again on the fact that our Democrat-run leaders have continued to take the wrong position, which seemingly support the illegal aliens rather than support the citizens in this city. And it's become a tragedy. And I'm grateful that you're spotlighting it tonight. And I hope that once again, we can see leaders step up and be leaders. Unfortunately, for far too long, when we had Operation Charlotte's Web here, those very leaders, that very mayor and the city council, were continuing to condemn the work that the Border Patrol was doing here, when in reality, they were looking for people just like this guy in order to get him off the streets before a tragedy like this occurred. And again, the tragedy is the lack of leadership that we're seeing in the city.
Yeah, that is exactly the tragedy. Congressman Mark Harris, 1,400 detainers in North Carolina that have not been honored. And at this point, it seems like they just must want rampant crime. What do you say that means when they just are going to allow 1,400 detainees to just go without any issue, just walk the streets and do whatever you want?
It's again a problem of refusing to face the reality that we've got a crime issue going on in Charlotte. Myself and a couple of my colleagues sent a letter to the governor just a few weeks ago asking that he bring in the National Guard. You know why we did it? Because the Fraternal Order of Police had actually identified that we were nearly 300 policemen short of what was needed in order to adequately police the city of Charlotte. But our Democrat governor, he's ignored it. Our leaders have said we don't need it. But the reality is the National Guard would provide support and a presence to allow our police to be able to do what they need to do to protect the citizens of this city. And as I listen to interview after interview of folks about the light rail over the weekend, people are waking up and realizing, I don't even have the exact numbers on how badly ridership has dropped. But one number I do have that I heard during Operation Charlotte's Web, that one of the groups, the Migrant Policy Institute, reported there are 100,000 illegal aliens living in Charlotte, Mecklenburg alone. Just in Mecklenburg County, 100,000 illegal aliens. This man was among them.
That's just, it's so devastating to hear. And then to hear that the local elected officials don't even want ICE there, don't want to try to clean the streets up, and they just want to allow these illegals to just run rampant. You know, DHS, they just launched Operation Catahoula Crunch in New Orleans at the direct request of Louisiana's Republican Governor Jeff Landry. Now, federal agents are rounding up violent, criminal, illegal migrants, along with very long rap sheets, who had been reportedly released under the city's sanctuary policies. Same country, same federal laws, same public safety threats. But why do some leaders fight to protect citizens and others, they fight to protect the criminals?
It is an abhorrent when you stop and consider that these kind of leaders, these elected officials, cannot come together. This is not about having a D by your name or an R by your name. This is about doing the right thing for law and order and to protect the citizens of your community. And that's what we've got to start to do. And I'm hoping that when you see a tragedy like this, and listen, thank God there was a good Samaritan that stood there. Irina Zarutska, she was attacked. She didn't have a fighting chance at all. And when this gentleman was there on the train yelling at people in a drunken state, there was a young guy that stepped up to the plate, told him to back off, and the next thing you know, that person ended up being stabbed. But when you think of the elderly that he was yelling at, the people that he was attacking on that plane before this Good Samaritan stepped up, I just think it could have been even more tragic. And thankfully, this man has survived. He's in critical but stable condition tonight. And I'm very grateful that he was the Good Samaritan that stepped in the midst of it.
Yeah, we got to be thankful for Good Samaritans, and it seems like sometimes Good Samaritans don't want to step up because they're afraid of elected officials going after them. We've seen that happen time and time again. You know, the Trump administration, they're slapping an apprehension fee on migrants without legal status, with U.S. Border Patrol Chief Michael Banks posting on X, in part, all illegal aliens age 14 or older who entered the United States without inspection will be assessed a $5,000 apprehension fee. Now, this message applies to all illegal aliens, regardless